Very good for being started. We rise to the pledge of allegiance, a moment of silence. Allegiance to the flag
The flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Dan.
Here.
Brian.
Here.
Chris.
Here.
Nick.
Here.
Rich.
Here.
Great. We'll get right into it with public session on agenda items only. Anybody have anything for the agenda only? Agenda only. Building report. Joseph.
I don't have a whole lot tonight, only because everything is in the work with Ed Group. I had a brief conversation, we were texting with him about the scheduling and all that. So we have the timeline for that, the milestone. I had a couple of brief conversations with Bobby Durivage for a few things that happened around the firehouse. Today it was the key fob, the other day it was the socket that Chief Littlefield helped me fix. And then the storage units that we're looking at, Bob was in contact with maybe. Other than that, we'll have a meeting probably in July with our team to make sure that we're on focus about what we have to do to clean that firehouse up and get it ready for construction, which we think the bids are gonna go out in September. So that's about all I got right now. Unless Chief Littlefield's got something to add.
I'd like to say Joe did a great job fixing the patient and telling me where to hope is for.
And that Chuck work too came in handy for that. We didn't have to run a lift.
Perfect. All righty. President's report. We'll start with Crystal.
He will not be here, but of course he submitted his fiscal.
He continues looking at the bag. They don't live like that at my house.
One was a birthday party for Eric that we logged in an email. The other one was for Emily for a graduation party on the 17th, 11th. It's just family gathering. Well, looks like you're gonna use your pavilion. Why still president? Approve the monthly meeting minutes. You guys all have them. Anything you want to change today?
And see nothing.
Okay.
Second.
Second. That. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Treasurer's report.
Yes, this is from Sean Kerwin. We'll start off with Key Bank first. Our beginning balance was $1,513,291.98. That was the beginning balance. However, all of the monies were moved this month to the Bank of Greene County. So there were two separate moves, one for 1.283291.98 and another one for 230,000 even, which left us a ending balance of $415.47. For the general fund, there was 538,390.63 for the beginning balance, and two amounts taken out and moved to Bank of Greene County, 308,390.62 and the 230,000 even, leaving a balance of $415.48 for the general fund. The equipment, building, and repairs reserve accounts, all of the amounts, they were totally cleaned out and moved to Bank of Greene County. That was and the equipment was 544,518.12. Money was moved. Building was $378,072.13. That was completely moved. And then in repairs, reserve was 52,311.11, and that was moved. In the beginning balance for the general fund checking account was $24,610.51. All of the payments cleared were, again, from the transfers, leaving a balance of $77,772.71. That was the month ending reconciled balance. We started the signing also of the bank statements for Greene County and Key Bank, which are at the beginning of the invoice payment book. So Bank of Greene County transferred into the total amount transferred was 1.35421.63. That was the total amount transferred. It was 1.25,100,000, and the ending balance prior to interest was 1.35 million. Monthly interest was $421.63. The general fund moved from Key Bank was 275,098.64 and moved to Bank of Greene County, the 100,000 that left us with $375,098.64 with monthly interest of $117.15 for a total in the general fund of $375,215.79. The amounts that I had said for Key Bank, the equipment capital reserve would be slightly different because we did earn interest on all three of the equipment, building, and repairs. The total for equipment would be $544,688.18. Building was $378,190.21, and repairs was $52,327.45. And then the checking account, the monthly ending reconciled balance was $65,159.39. So moving forward, Sean said he'll put both of them just the way he did, so you can see both. He doesn't have any intention in closing Key Bank immediately because we still have it linked to some FEMA grants, and there's some other things that it's linked to, so we'll hold on to it for the time being. And the other thing that he wanted me to report on is on or about June 1st, he did close with the Bank of Greene County on the $2.5 million loan for the renovation project. So that money has been secured. And he has also asked that the chiefs and their officers start looking at the 2024 budget process. So if they have any requests, they should start getting them together. We'll be sending something out probably within the month. I think I covered everything.
That was with the $2.5 million, and like it's not more than around a year. Couldn't find it's not there. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's up to Sean.
Yep.
Sean's not here.
Yeah, Sean's not here. Yeah, that's, I don't, did we be worried now?
Resolution. President's report via. Roll call, please.
Dan?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
All righty. Approval of this month's invoices. Ryan, you had.
Yeah, I'd say it's the light month, nothing really abnormal. Large items was really the truck 14 PM repair. And that's out of the ordinary.
All right, I'll make a resolution that we approve these month's invoices. Second, Brian, roll call please.
Dan,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Correspondence.
correspondence received, Key Bank FDIC insurance assets ending in 5/31/2023. And we also received an estimate for temporary storage containers from Maybes. They have plenty of them in stock. I did speak to Joe. So when the time comes that we're going to need to order them for the district and WFD, should be no issue. If we need to store them at Maybes, we can do that. If we need to, they're very flexible. However, they do, charge. There's an additional charge if they have to be moving things around. But if we're just keeping it on site, there is no additional charge for that. Just the monthly storage fee. There's nothing sent.
Anything for whole business. New business. You have a contract here with Watson's International. It's the website that you guys know that we use to sell all our surplus stuff. Just gotta renew it, or agreement ends on the 12th. Today, or it starts today.
Yeah, it will start. Our actual agreement that we have with them expires in 2 days, so it kind of just works out well. Plus, we also have that item on listing with them right now.
Questions?
No real changes, right?
No changes at all.
You never had issues with them, no negative issues with.
No, not at all. I mean, they've, the way they run their invoices with their clients that purchase auction items. I mean, it's, sometimes you get a holdout of somebody, it takes them a little bit longer to get here, but they're very good to work with.
No problem. So I'll make a motion that we accept this contract. Have a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Nick. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Chief's reports. Appreciate.
Okay, so look at the purchases first, a joint purchase for training and the bailout systems. We're gonna go with the trainer that. We'll go with that direct for trainer. It'll be an 8-hour trainer class. Each Department of Village sends 7 people, and then there'll be a 1-hour introduction to the whole membership. It's way cheaper than having them come in and train every time we have some. Any questions on it? No? All right, we'll move right on. We had the vendors in for the non-interior gear last Thursday. We had 3 vendors in. The chiefs are going over which one we're trying to select. We've left the gear here for some of the senior members to try it on, go through it. I've got some input from our members. Chief Littlefield's going to be taking the gear over Wednesday tonight. So it's in the process. Your process. So we can move along. We had the lettering taken off the trailer on Friday, so we can move along with that. Pretty easy process. She just took off the main lettering, like North English Fire District, so we didn't take everything off of it. Which just costs us one more to take like the striping and stuff off the bottom. And, that's all I have. Any questions?
All right. So you have the breakdown for May. You got your Dropbox. Some updates on a few things. St. Jude's, since April 1st, 2023, we've been to St. Jude's 4 times. So, basically the way I've been doing with that is talking to our property manager, touching base with her once a week, just to see if something may have occurred that we missed. And we haven't had that issue yet. So the goal with the end of that is we're gonna have a presentation scheduled with the residents over there to kind of explain what's changed in the last 2 months. Explain to them that we're not coming for everything anymore. If there truly is a problem, call 911 and tell them. And we're gonna go from there and get that scheduled with Barb. Vanderheiden has been its usual self. The latest incident up there was they took paper towels and covered the smoke detector, trying to circumvent the system. And whoever did it didn't rip it down fast enough before I got down in the basement to find it. So shenanigans. We discussed it with staff. We got the typical answer, and we'll see what happens from there. But I briefed the membership of Wine Skill, and I also shared it with Chief Clute and his assistants that was going on up there. Let's see what else we got. Physicals are in process for members of Wine Skill right now, going down to community care. We had some activity mutual aid wise. We went out to Post and Kill for a rather large forestry fire. That took a lot of effort, and we were able to help out with that quite a bit. And then the gear, as Chief Clute mentioned, going to bring that back to brief the Wine Skill membership on, and we'll probably have that for next month. And we'll get that going forward. Gonna have a committee created to review the Wine Skill box alarms. The Wine Skill box alarms are from 2013, so they need to be looked at. And then the last thing I have for the board is I would like to start a committee for the replacement of truck 4-2. Reason being, we have it slated on the long range plan through 2028. So I know that sounds like a long time away, but it really kind of isn't. And I didn't plan on Mr. Vandermolen and Mr. Gates to be here tonight, but I think they would agree that 4 years for a ladder truck is probably.
That's what it's taken now, it's 4 years for a truck.
Yeah.
Once you order it.
So I'd like to move forward with that process. That's all I got.
All right. So we do have one purchase request for that training, to bail out $5,550. That is for a trainer.
Chairman, I'd make a resolution that we approve that.
Resolution made by Rich. I'll second it. Roll call.
Dan?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Apparatus. Rich, you got anything for apparatus?
Just that Bob's been keeping, obviously I've been out of the loop a little bit. Bob's been keeping me abreast of the progress on the maintenance for all the rigs. And it seems like, there's been some hiccups, but no big bumps in the road. So he's been taking care of that, and no big problems that I see. I think we should consider what the Wine Skill chief has requested regarding the truck company. I don't know that we need to take an action tonight, but we need to start to think about it, and in the next month or two, possibly do something concrete on it and get going on it. It's tough to start a committee in the summer. I would think we should target it to start sometime early fall and get going on it, and we won't have to rush and kill ourselves with it. That's all I have.
The only thing I would like to add is that we have that new committee now for the apparatus needs. How you fire them up, chief, on your for 3 guys and the 3 spills, 3 guys. This would be a great time. We'll just get them going, get them through the process, with them with the paperwork. Get the ball rolling.
That's not truck committee though.
There's an apparatus need committee that we have. You have John Carroll, TJ, Scott Kennedy. That's an apparatus needs committee that we established.
That's the current.
I
Standing
believe
evaluation. Standing evaluation committee.
we'll evaluate the truck. It's a good starting point. It's not like we're saying, no, that we're not going to start a committee, but we'll just get that ball going on a truck that we are replacing.
So I think they're supposed to get all the trucks yearly, so.
So you are supposed to look at all the trucks.
I think you guys speak to, yeah.
This is a good truck to start, and then we'll start trying to figure out the committees.
I do agree, because I was talking about earlier this morning about the truck and the lead times, and it's probably a good time to get going on committee this year.
Building your grounds, right?
Not too much, you know, I thank both memberships for the work they've done, you know, the respective stations and stuff, it's appreciated, you know, we love free labor for that. I know Johnson can throw things up for renewal soon, Bob's gonna, that is in contact with Bob, misspeaking, let me know, but, basically looking at some of the things around there, just kind of try to streamline, you know, their quotes for us, and he has something for us to look at next month. As far as that, but beyond that, out of town line.
Well, except for use of pavilion. I have a motion to
Make a motion, except for Mr.
second by Sandy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. District personnel. Annie, Brian? Financial insurance audit, Annie, Nick?
Nothing unless Sean, and then Sean providing.
He did not.
Long range planning, Brian, Nick?
Not too much really, I mean, nothing to really talk about is that Chick-fil-A opening and stuff, and there's some talk about the fire screen bottle. Is it?
I did last month.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just words to do.
Policy procedures membership, Brian, Nick?
No.
LoSAP, Nick, Brian, chiefs, presidents? IT department, Danny, Nick?
Seem to be getting the program line software nicely, Bob looking at sample of things in for the inventory. It's gonna be going as planned, anything that we're.
Oh, I think, you know, we still have the inventory and the truck apparatus checks that we're working on now. We're actively working on that. So that's good. I did ask Susan from their business office to not bill us the final 25% until they come through with that, and she agreed. So we won't get, but we still owe them 25% of that original amount. So I would have to also yield to the chiefs, and this thing's working better with the reports now.
I haven't heard anything bad. Yeah, we got one, we did get a report, I think, JO, where they got one turned off for the LoSAP and all that. So it's in the rear, but our membership is happy that they can see something now. You know,
It should save a lot of time and especially for you guys over there, because he was kind of doing everything by manually, right?
no. JO was doing everything on a computer, and he was just getting it spit out.
Right, but didn't he used to do like a spreadsheet?
Yeah, he had his.
I mean, now they should,
Yeah.
just spit it out and make it, you know, after a learning curve, make it a little easier.
Development plan review, Brian.
See previous comment, aside from that, we did get the 9 different options for the new Bonanza Bridge. It came to Chief Kluge, start doing the review on that. 4 of the 9 options bringing the new bridge through to Freesville, including option number 7 or 9, I forget which one it is. Comes down right on the other side of the power lines right out here. So, the planning board is waiting for comment back.
Option 9.
Nick, Chiefs, anything else? Fire mag operations, Rich, you got anything?
Nothing from here.
I got nothing. You guys are doing a great job. All righty, now we'll open up for public session. Anybody have anything for public session?
Phil Vandermolen, I own Vandermolen Fire Apparatus. I don't know all you guys on the board here, but I was the one that was in charge of the sales process and manufacturing process, the 2 new engines. And the last few years or so, we've been working with you guys on the service side of things. And the way that it works is obviously I front end the projects as the sales side. And then when we kind of get to the service and maintenance of that type of thing, Larry Gates, our general manager, he is ones that does the follow through to make sure that your needs are being met on the service side of things. So a couple of things I wanted to see you guys tonight, and first of all, make sure you're happy with the follow-up services you've gotten from us for the past, what, 1.5 to 2 years? Because as a business owner, I value a relationship with the folks that we work with. And I've heard a couple of rumblings that there may be a little dissatisfaction and or some miscommunications. And so I wanted to stop by and address that and make sure we get anything clarified that needs to be clarified. And on any specifics on the service end, I've asked Larry to bring any details that might be pertinent to it. I know one thing that we did have was a hourly rate discharge, which we have corrected and have credited you guys. So I wanted to kind of give you guys an opportunity, if you had a question, had a concern, that we could address it with you guys tonight. And one of the understandings I got from an email from the Freesville chief was that you guys were going a different direction for service. And so that raised a concern with me, wondering what's going on.
I mean, I'm aware of one issue, but it's not to the point you spoke of, so I can't really speak on behalf of going in a different direction. I know there was an issue that came up about the contract and about sole source provider, and that, and I think that may have been the miscommunication you were alluding to, but sole source provider is a procurement term. So, I mean, if the understanding was Vandermolen was the exclusive provider of service, that's not correct. But on the procurement side, by you being sole source, again, not on the delivery side, but on the procurement side, it obviated the need for competitive bidding for that service, and sole source moniker that fit that was appropriate because you had 2 vehicles under warranty at the time. So it allowed them to basically put other vehicles, because they couldn't go anywhere under warranty on those 2. But I saw an email exchange and I was asked about it, and if there's a misunderstanding about the term sole source, that is a procurement.
I think it was more sole provider.
It says sole source service provider.
But sole source has a definition in the state finance law on the procurement side. There are exceptions to competitive bidding. Okay, so it's piggybacking. Sole source is one. The best example of sole source is Platinum. Okay, because you can't get final bid from anybody. Or something, if we did if there was a standardization resolution, that they're gonna buy something here on out, that technically is a sole source for you, but like you have this jurisdiction is there, right? Nobody else can sell something right here. But the term sole source in the law is not a exclusive rights to or right of first refusal to. It's a procurement term meant to give you a workaround, if you will, from a competitive bid. So, I mean, if there was a misunderstanding, if that's what you're talking about, then, I mean, I saw an email exchange from a while back, and that was the issue of misunderstanding. I'm sorry for it, but the sole source is, like I said, procurement and delivery. So, am I making this up, or is this what your issue was?
My question is there satisfaction with the fire district with the service work that we're doing? Because we've done pretty much all your service work for the past couple of years and given you guys a discounted rate on that, haven't charged travel for that and several other benefits to that as part of a relationship to help give you guys immediacy of support. But again, in that exchange of, we expect that you work with us as well. So I want to make sure that the district is happy with the service that we're providing.
I'd love to answer that, but I don't know.
Can I inject something here? Can I inject something here? Phil, I've been responsible for I've been on the committee for apparatus and apparatus needs for the entire time we've had the contract with you guys for repair. And I would say that overall, generally, there's complete satisfaction. There are rumblings from time to time about something that, gee, we mentioned this to them and they didn't get to it, or more often than not, it's something that you guys never got told about that came back that you hadn't caught. So you weren't told about it, you hadn't caught it, so we can't blame you for it. But some guys are going to bitch about the time of day or the color of the whatever. But generally, yeah. Now in this last one, this issue that came up in the last month or two over the repair, I believe it was the Rescue 9. It really raised some questions on this sole source issue, because if you take that interpretation of sole source to its nth degree, that means if we need tires on a rig, we got to go through you. If we break a leaf spring, we got to take it up to you and then have you send it to Albany Spring or whatever. If we need transmission work, it's got to go through you. If one of the rigs gets in an accident and needs a little body work, it's got to go, and I don't think that was the intent of that contract when it was put in place. We look at you to do every bit of our pump work, our transfer case work, our anything related to the fire truck end of it. As far as the motor, the actual drive motor, the drive train, some of that stuff we may ask you to do, but I don't think that was what the intent of being covered in that contract.
Okay. Well, that answers the question in satisfaction. That's what, as a business owner, I want to make sure that the district is happy with the performance that we're providing.
If there was dissatisfaction, I think one of the chiefs would pick up the phone and call you. Bob would pick up the phone and call you, or Bob and I would confer, and Bob, Chris, and I would get on the phone with you. I don't think that's happened.
Okay.
So then, in legal sense, this means nothing.
No, what it means is when you offered that contract, that given the nature of what was being provided, the district didn't have to work within the parameters of their procurement policy. They didn't have to, potentially go out to bid. And if you aggregate all that stuff, it's more than 35,000. It's going to get to 35,000. You would have had to do that. The sole source, it's a term of art in the state finance law on the bidding side. And
you know, I can't tell you that if that contract was offered today, that a lot of it had to do with the fact that two bridges were under warranty. And you were the sole source provider of warranty service. So you could, I don't want to use the term piggyback, but you could say it's in the interest of the district to use you because you were the sole source for at least the two most valuable, no insult to the truck company, but the two most valuable pieces of apparatus that they have. So if you're looking to be the exclusive maintenance and repair facility for for this entity, you should use the term sole source because it's like using the term, it's defined in the law. It means it's final, okay? You can't get it anymore. So I mean, when I see that, when people see that, they're looking at that as, oh, it's an exception to procurement, and it was because of this. So, I mean, it was probably, I mean, it gave Vandermolen a leg up, certainly, because the warranty aspect of it. And it basically allowed them to say, well, we have to go through these two, so they can, yeah, it is a sole source for convenience, administrative, fiat, whatever you want to call, they want that out. But if you want it to be, Rich raised some good point, if you want to be the exclusive be all and end all for all things mechanical related apparatus, that would have to be spelled out, and you know, it wouldn't use the term sole source, it would be spelled out in the contract, and you would need a lot more detail because, as Rich pointed out, tires. Sure, you have to get tires from you. You know, if it's going to be that type of thing. So, I mean, I saw the email. I don't know what that was the genesis, or that was the origin of the problem. That was the friction point, but it shouldn't be. And if you're going to do that going forward, understand that the term sole source is procurement. It's not the delivery of exclusive services with no option or alternative to do something else. So that's how I interpreted what I a couple of weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, I saw the email. I'm not sure.
It was, yeah, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago.
And if I just stepped in something that wasn't an issue for you, let me know. That's what the only thing I saw and had to deal with you guys.
Okay. Now, ultimately, like I said, I want to make sure you guys are satisfied with what we are providing for you. And if there is a question or a concern, that it is addressed to either Larry or myself, because we've valued the relationship and communication. Because if there's not communication, sometimes, like I said, wires get crossed or messages get crossed, and you know, we work real hard to make sure that when you guys call, we're right here. You know, same day most of the time.
I thought it was taken out of the emails. That's why I just happened to see some of the stuff that I was reviewing with Bob for I mean, I didn't see this big, a big conflict point or a pinch point or anything. So, go forth and.
My name's on the building, so if there's dissatisfaction, that is a pinch point for me, and I want to make.
No, I get that. That's
rectified.
It's good that you're that interested and you have that much control over what's going on in your shop. That's good.
And we wind up talking 3-4 times a day. So pretty intimately, even though I'm not there in the shop every day, very aware of what's going on. So
You're doing better than 2 of the other manufacturers I have the displeasure of having to deal with. So
thanks, I think.
I'll probably see you this week. This week, what I've been talking about the one that was named sounds like Ocean Crypt. It's the same word as Ocean Crypt. How about that?
Thank you.
Anything else for public session? Anything else for public session? Anything else for public session?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Bill. Second by Nick, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry.